It all begins with ambition. In the mid-19th century, France looked south across the Mediterranean and saw Africa, a vast land of opportunity, resources, and power. France had lost prestige in Europe after the Franco-Prussian War, and leaders wanted to rebuild national pride. To do that, France turned to empire, and Africa became the perfect stage. France wanted wealth, resources, and global influence. The Industrial Revolution had created a hunger for raw materials: cotton, rubber, copper, and gold. Africa had them all. Factories in Europe needed fuel and Africa offered it, but it wasn't only about money, it was also about glory. In the late 1800s, every European empire was racing for land. Britain, Belgium, Germany all wanted a slice of Africa. France didn't want to be left behind. French politicians believed that empire made a nation great. They spoke of the mission civilisatrice, the civilizing mission, the idea that France had a duty to bring its culture, its language, and its system of government to the African people. It was a moral excuse for colonization, but behind that idea was a story of power and control. At the Berlin Conference in 1884, European powers met to divide Africa among themselves. No African leaders were invited. Lines were drawn on maps thousands of miles away. France claimed massive territories stretching across the west and deep into the center of the continent. From Senegal to Chad, from Niger to Congo, France built one of the largest colonial empires in history. How did France do it? First, through the army. French forces invaded, defeated local kingdoms, and forced treaties on African rulers. Second, through administration. French officials ruled directly, not through local leaders. They replaced local systems with French laws and education. The goal was to turn Africans into Frenchmen, but in truth, most were treated as subjects, not citizens. The French built railroads and ports, but they were not for the benefit of Africans. They were designed to move raw materials, cocoa, peanuts, rubber, timber from the interior to the coast and then to France. The colonies produced wealth, but that wealth flowed in one direction, to Europe. In North Africa, colonization was even harsher. In Algeria, French troops fought a long and brutal war starting in 1830. Entire villages were destroyed. French settlers took the best land, and for over a century, Algeria was treated as part of France itself. By 1914, France controlled more of Africa than almost any other nation. The empire stretched over millions of square miles and ruled tens of millions of people. When independence movements began in the mid-20th century, France resisted letting go. In Algeria, the struggle for freedom turned into a bloody 8-year war. In West Africa, independence came more peacefully, but France made sure to keep its influence through trade, through language, and through politics. Even after the flags changed, France never truly left. French companies continued to control resources. French troops stayed in bases across the continent. French remained the official language of government and education in many countries. This lasting influence became known as La France Afrique, France's invisible empire. Today, the legacy is complicated. The French language still connects nations across West and Central Africa, but the scars of exploitation and control remain. Many African economies still depend on systems built during colonial rule. So why did France get so much of Africa? Because France wanted power, pride, and wealth, and Africa paid the price. The empire that once covered the map is gone, but its shadow still stretches across the continent. And history continues to remind the world how one nation's ambition reshaped an entire region. If you enjoyed this video, then like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel.